Welcome back, everyone. Just wanted to talk a little bit about Heather Herbert. Just about the fact that he is now being arrested by police for the disgusting things he was saying on social media. So, if you haven't already heard, Heather Herbert, who is from Aberdeen Uni, he's a web developer who identifies as a trans woman. So, he's a man in a dress, essentially. He's just been arrested and charged over the posts he made about Ann Widdecombe. So when Widdecombe died, this Herbert fella goes on social media and says it was good news and he hoped that she'd had an extremely painful death. I mean, grim as fuck, but, you know, what do you do? He even said that he hoped she was handcuffed to the bed screaming in agony. That's apparently some reference to when she was a prisons minister. I mean, what a charming bloke this guy seems, eh? So, Police Scotland had a look at the case, and at first they said nothing criminal going on here. So they obviously refused to press any sort of charges. Obviously that caused mayhem on social media, so the petitions started to fly in. People kicking off left, right and centre, and suddenly they're knocking on his door and now they're charging him. So, right, does he deserve to get nicked? Now, don't get us wrong, right? The posts that he put out there were absolutely fucking disgusting, okay? No need for them. Gloating over a dead woman in such a nasty way, especially when it's all kicking off as a possible murder job. I mean, some folks say if you're going to have laws against stirring up hate and that, then apply them properly. You can't have one rule for one and another for everyone else. It's just about consistency, innit? So if words can get you in the cells, then this should have been looked at proper from the off. It's not like he was just saying, I didn't like her politics. He was wishing agony on her, which is bad enough, you know? But here's the thing, though, and I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with us on this. It does get a little bit messy. And this is where the free speech chat comes in. Now, if, like me, you're a proper free speech champion, you can't just defend it when it's your side mouthing off and then cheer when the other lot gets banged up for nasty words. I mean, that's just hypocrisy. It's plain and simple. Free speech literally means putting up with the stuff that makes your blood boil, not just the nice bits. And now arresting folk for being nasty online, it does set a dangerous precedent, man. I mean, once you start locking people up for opinions, even nasty ones, horrible ones, whatever, where does it stop? Especially when it's about a dead politician. It's not like he was telling folk to go out and do something violent right there and then. Now, again, I'm not sticking up for him, but the damage was already done, unfortunately, and the things he was saying wasn't going to get someone to go and commit murder against Ann Widdecombe. So that brings us to the big comparison that everyone's been banging on about, and that's Lucy Connolly. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because Lucy was the one in 2024 during the riots in Southport where she posted, mass deportations now, set fire to all the fucking hotels full of the bastards for all I care. Proper strong stuff. And it was during actual unrest with hotels getting targeted and stuff like that. So there was a chance that someone could go on her words and add more fires to the fire to the flames, whatever. I mean, she got lifted, which she should have. She pleaded guilty to stirring up racial hatred. Now, that in itself was a contentious part. But anyway, she got banged up for 31 months, served 9 before they let her out. Now, do you see the difference, though? Now, Lucy's post was calling for people to actually set fire to places with people living in them. Doesn't matter if you don't think she meant it that way, okay? I doubt she probably meant it that way, but that's how it reads. Alright? Set fire to the hotels. I mean, she's got herself into the incitement territory there, especially when things were kicking off at the time on the streets. Herbert's was more, I hope that dead woman suffered. Grim as anything, don't get us wrong, but it's gloating over one person who's already gone. It's not telling people to go out and burn stuff down or to hurt people. You've got to admit it's a different kettle of fish, man. But context matters too, because while Lucy was posting misinformation was flying around and riots were happening, Herbert was, after the death announcement, having a pop at someone he clearly hated for her politics. Both are offensive as hell, if you want to look at it that way. But, one feels like it could stir trouble up right there and then, while the other one just feels like a bit of a bitter old rant about a dead enemy, to be honest with you. I mean, the hypocrisy angle is proper strong here, okay? A lot of the same voices who were all like, lock her up for Lucy, are now going free speech for Herbert, or the other way around. It's two-tier bollocks either way. Police said no criminal at first for Herbert, then changed their minds after the noise. With Lucy, it was as quick as hell. So it makes you wonder if it's about who you are and not what you say sometimes. A trans activist versus a Tory councillor's wife. Left-leaning versus right-leaning on immigration. People can smell favouritism and it stinks. But at the end of the day, both cases show up the problems with these broad hate speech laws that we've got. They catch all sorts and get applied unevenly depending on who's shouting loudest that week. Now, if we want proper free speech, we should narrow it right down to actual threats and direct incitement to violence. Not just being a horrible bastard online. Because being a horrible bastard's still free speech, even if you don't like it. Now, Herbert's comments were disgusting, no two ways about it. Lucy's were reckless and dangerous in the moment. Like I've said, I don't think she meant for people to actually go out and do what she was suggesting. But the thing is, she said it. But turning both of these into criminal matters just shows the system can't decide where the line is, and it can't stick to it. So, I don't know, what do you think about that, guys? I mean, I don't want people to be going to jail for saying something I don't like. At the end of the day, that's not what free speech is about. Inciting hate, absolutely you need to go to prison for that. But is what Heather Herbert did that? Is that inciting hate and violence, inciting racial hatred or inciting violence on someone? I truly don't think it is. I think there's holes in the Lucy Connolly case as well. I don't think she should have gone to prison for it. I think you can judge a person by how they come across, and while she shouldn't have said what she said, I don't think she should have gone to jail over it. But anyway, it doesn't mean that when you say something online like that you're not going to be free of consequences. Now, I'm not advocating for anyone to go out and start getting people to lose their jobs or anything like that, but at the same time, if Aberdeen Uni want to get rid of this prick, well, you go ahead and do that. The left use that excuse all the time. Free speech doesn't mean you're free from consequences. Well, let's play it your way then and see what happens, eh? Hopefully that fucking absolute whelp of a man, and he is a man, will be out of a job very, very soon. Let us know what you thought of this in the comments, guys. I know this one's probably going to be a little bit divisive. Subscribe if you haven't already to the channel, and I'll catch you all later. Cheers.
Don't be daft, man.